Don't just make a product. Build a world, add lore, let your audience connect the dots. They'll love you for it. And if they don't, f*** them. No, I'm just joking. Have you ever noticed we don't just watch TV shows anymore? We get online after the episode to talk amongst people. We listen to breakdowns. We watch YouTube videos showing us Easter eggs. We listen to podcasts. We consume everything in the world, immersing ourselves.
Yeah. This media consumption is the era of active engagement. And when you have huge shows like Severance, Pluribus, Welcome to Derry, they not only demand your attention, but that you take a look deeper under the surface.
So what sparked this thought was just how much I've noticed the media shift. How I see people not only watching the TV show, but you look at YouTube, for instance, and one of the most popular things on YouTube that I watch are usually breakdowns and Easter egg videos. New Rockstars is probably one of my favorite channels, and they take comic book movies, pop culture movies, just kind of anything that's relevant, and they try and figure out all the theories and everything that makes this project what it is, whether it's a trailer or it's a movie or a TV show, and they just break down all the Easter eggs that appear in the show. So if you don't know what Easter egg is, it's usually a hidden little nugget of content inside the project that tells more information. So it's just a little clue.
Yeah, like a hidden piece of context or meaning.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not from the Easter Bunny.
It's not from the Easter Bunny. No. So I just noticed that these got really popular. The other thing I noticed is that every TV show that's like big,
major,
and I'll start with, even if you look at just every HBO show, they've all got a podcast that they attach to the show. And I think that's really cool, but that is something that is fairly newer in the last decade.
Yeah, that, and HBO also does the, like, what do they call it? The look into the episode after the show, where they have like either the creators or the actors talk about, specific things about the show right after. I was going to say it's because of the vast worlds within these IPs that create that experience where you can go deeper, and there's just more to discover and consume with all these different mediums or methods of finding more meaning of the show.
Yeah, and I think people, I think we like that. I think we really thrive on being able to find these little clues hidden in the shows we love, but also just continue to expand that world. As we really enjoy something, we want more of it. And so this allows us the ability to do that, to spend your entire day not just binging a show, but then binging all the ancillary content around it.
Yeah. And I really believe that, it allows deeper conversations around the shows as well. And, talking about our theories or concepts. I mean, we do it all the time. Yeah. In what we think certain meanings are, like what we think is going to happen, or even just, the day after watching something, like bringing up the conversation again of like, yeah, I can't believe this character was doing this because blah, 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 blah. Like, it's more richness in the experience.
I truly love the shows where I get to go back and talk to you about it. I talk to my friends about it. Online, I can find some other people that are talking about it that are bringing up different things. There's just something about that community that makes the show feel even more important. And from a creator standpoint, I think that's a dope experience to be able to provide, to be able to build this world that lives beyond the 30 or 60 minutes that I may give you. Yeah. But you're now taking it and giving it a whole new life.
Yeah, I think that shows its cultural relevance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's funny. That reminds me of last week's episode where we were talking about, Gen Z and their connection to wanting more authentic material.
Yeah.
And I think that plays a part in that authenticity when it is something that we feel connected to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also, I think there's something to be said about us wanting to dissect these puzzles.
Yeah.
I think of these shows, like you mentioned, Pluribus and Severance, where you're finding out what the show is about as you're watching it. With Severance, like the whole first season, like you're like, what the fuck is happening here? You're learning it, though, as each episode gives you more information.
Each episode is a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And all of us are like Sherlock Holmes, solving the mysteries within the show, hidden meanings, like any little detail that could be something.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I did watch a few of those last season, where you have the cast kind of talking about some of the thoughts they had when portraying certain characters and what they internalized in the scenes that they were doing, and it just gives such a deeper insight that I think in the past, when I was growing up, you'd have magazines or you'd have some interviews you'd find online of the creators or actors talking about it, but you didn't have that direct in the moment conversation exactly on the episode you just watched. That was something you had to wait a little bit of time to find out more information about. Now we get so much information from shows, and it's allowing us to experience the show in a more informed way.
Yeah, whether that's from the creators themselves or, people dissecting the show and breaking it down. There's a lot of community involvement.
Yeah. I was thinking about Pluribus, and it's so funny because you talk about that community. When we did our first breakdown of Pluribus, we talked about Carol and how her behavior kind of sucked, and we got so much shit on TikTok from people because they're like, you're not really giving her grace to grieve and all these things. And it's like, well, no, we get the grief thing, but are you missing all the clues that are letting you know that she's kind of shitty?
Yeah, and everything that happened before the grief and just the person that she's been and how she's affecting everyone. And we found there's a lot of Carolites.
Yeah, and Carolites out there. But
yeah,
what we've noticed is, like you mentioned, the Carolites, there's a community for this character. And that is something that I think in the past would have been a lot harder to find, this community for just a specific character. And these days, whenever you watch a show, you can go online and find a community for whatever part of the show you want to find a community for that exists. And I think that's a cool thing. It, like we said before, it expands the world, but you find a place in the show you love.
Yeah. Yeah, we also just saw a little sliver of humanity for Carol, so we'll see. But there's only 2 episodes left, so
yeah.
Anyway.
So there's all these avenues now to further deep dive, and that's what we are noticing is like kind of the way you consume media now. It's not just watch an episode and move on. The other thing it does, which is cool from the creator standpoint, it gives you more to take in between week to week episodes. So the week doesn't feel as long anymore.
No. Yeah, because there's so much discourse and everything and ways to be like, I think that's what's so smart. People are engaged for a good amount of time. If it is a weekly show that's released, like you're engaged in finding out, more info and, just being interested. And yeah, it's really smart.
I think that's a cool evolution of how we consume media now. And then the binge is not bad. Like for the shows that release a whole season in one episode or in one day, you watch that and then, you get online to now spend time digging in the world from all the people that broke down the entire world and think about where it's going. So it's just, I think that's just a fucking cool thing.
It really is cool. Depth is Cool.
And when we talk about depth, I think it requires focus. And why do I bring up focus? I bring up focus mainly because we have a coffee brand. It's called Brain Juice Coffee. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves in is it activates your senses in a way that allows you to focus, but also hit that flow.
Get into that deep work.
And in deep work is where you're able to come up with all these cool ass ideas.
And maybe your own Easter eggs.
So that you can build a world so vast that your audience is like, man, I can't get enough of it. And you can thank Brain Juice Coffee for that.
Yeah. Join us. Get your cup of inspiration at brainjuicecoffee.com.
That's brainjuicecoffee.com. Don't forget it. You won't have to forget it. It's in the description. So, how are shows adding in these Easter eggs and this depth within the show? There's many ways. Some do it in the dialogue, like my homie Quentin Tarantino, who's public enemy #1 right now because he's got a mouth on him.
A spewer.
There's visual storytelling, like in the cinematography. You get that a lot in Severance. The way we're going to talk about today is environmental storytelling.
Props, set design, certain placements of things other than dialogue to paint the story.
Yeah. And, we talked about Pluribus earlier. There's been many moments that has had really good environmental storytelling. We talked about Carol's Yellow Jacket. One of the big ones would be in the first 4 episodes, you see a lot of milk-based trucks or products laying around, which we found out in episode 5 what that means, but it was definitely placed in the world earlier than that for you to be able to clue into.
Yeah. I think I just have way more appreciation for it now in, just all the consuming that we've done together, the studying of film and TV. Because when I was just focused on being an actor, I was like, why would you want to do a shot of an object, just the object? And now I get that it's part of the visual storytelling and it could elicit clues.
Yeah.
That are very powerful beyond dialogue.
Yeah. One of the dope examples of this, it's one of my favorite movies of the year, which is Weapons. And in it, and it's in the first, I think, 5 minutes of the film, Julia Garner, she's going into her house. There's some weird stuff going on. She comes out to see what the noises are, and she sees her car has witch written on it. At this point in the movie, you don't know anything about what's going on, other than some kids went missing. But this writing of witch on the car immediately lets you know who's responsible for what's going on. It's not Julia Garner's character, but it's a witch. And I think that's really awesome environmental storytelling because you don't know that when you're watching the first time. But when you watch it again, there's so many clues placed throughout. You're like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio mean. Yeah. So that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love finding these clues and things and environmental storytelling because it's kind of like Where's Waldo? You have to be paying attention.
Yeah. Well, and why it works so well is it allows the audience to discover the story. So you're not necessarily being told what's happening, but you're seeing it happen and your brain's taking that information in and building out the story. So you become an active participant. You talked about this phrase earlier when you talked about, what was it, active engagement. You become an active participant. You are now part of the movie experience. And when you get that buy-in from your audience, it locks them in.
Yeah, because I feel like, you're kind of like another character.
Yeah.
In the story, a lot of the times when you notice these things, and it kind of it can foreshadow something, or a lot of moments like that where you're like, oh, I think this might happen because I just saw this. And yeah,
it's exciting to be rewarded for your hard work. And so when you're watching something and your brain is putting these clues together and you get to the end and you guessed who did it, you feel really good.
Yeah.
So I think it's stuff like that that's just really awesome about filmmaking. And as whether you are a filmmaker or you're a viewer, this sort of storytelling helps make it fun for everybody.
Yeah, visual storytelling is very powerful, and I like where we're at with the active engagement.
I think the lesson here for us as creators is don't explain your world. I think you can hide the details within the project so that the audience feels smart.
Yeah.
And when they figure it out, I think you'll have them invested in what you're doing in a way that is far more intense than what you originally expected.
Yeah, I mean, I really think you can have some fun with it. And yeah, people used to do it like in letters or, in Morse code or whatever, people deciphering letters and, they get the clue and it's thrilling.
Yeah. I mean, and some people even do it like that environmental storytelling or whatever, like they do it in ways that are not always just like an item or prop in the room. Sometimes it's in the soundtrack. The song that's playing is telling you something's going to go on. Horror movies do that a lot when they use songs that have lyrics. You'll hear things that are telling you something's about to go on.
Oh, yeah.
James Gunn does it a lot in his movies where it's the soundtrack is another element of the storytelling.
Art.
So how do we apply active engagement to our creativity? I think there's a lot of ways that people can do it. One of the ways right away that we've done it is by building this ecosystem. For instance, this podcast, The Life We Create, was really a way for us to talk about our projects and our goals and journeys and products all in one space, so we could give deeper lore to everything we're doing.
Yeah, it's very much through building our own world and you building your world.
So podcast one way, anybody can do it. Many people are doing it, but that just adds a layer of being able to speak directly to whatever it is that you're doing. I'd say the other way is specifically with our products.
Yeah, one way we're doing that is we're actually going to place it in our short that we're doing. It'll literally be a coffee shop that one of the characters comes out of, Brain Juice Coffee. And yeah, it'll be Brain Juice Coffee bags, so it will fit within the world.
I'd say also another way we're doing it with the coffee is we wanted to incorporate our filmmaking into that. And something that's really exciting is the concept of doing a brand show.
Yeah, like I think when you can create more connection points and engagement points for people, it's really the ticket to growing your world.
Build your ecosystem. There's so much you probably have in that head of yours to help build out your worlds. Include it. Find ways to include it. Talk about it. Write about it. Recently, Quentin Tarantino wrote a whole another book to his movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, I think the world doesn't have to end the moment you stop your project. And people don't always want it to end. People want more, even in like the smallest ways.
Yeah. You can, keep using your creative expression to build out that project into these different forms.
Yeah. Don't just make a product. Build a world. Build a lore. Let your audience connect the dots. That is what is going to be unforgettable.
I was going to say, don't just build up, but build out.
If you want to join the ecosystem we're building, if you want to taste some coffee, if you want to join the actress, brainjuicecoffee.com. It's where all the great things are happening. Also, leave a comment on this video. Tell us what you think about the whole idea of active engagement. We obviously like it, but maybe you hate it. Let us know. Like, subscribe, do all those YouTube things that help the YouTube algorithm say that this video deserves to be watched. And until next time,
go create the life you want.